Hi, this is an introduction for the video you're about to see, and I also want this to serve as a disclaimer. The video has a first section in which I go into the history of the plant, but 3/4 of this video is about an experiment. The experiment of transpotting this plant into a pot with soil mixed with water xylose. It's an hydrogel, a highly absorbent polymer, Mexican made. Anyway, the experiment ended up being a failure, that is, non-positive results due to several factors. Anyways, in this video you will be able to jump to several different sections that will appear in the bottom of the screen, because, well, it is up to 1 hour long. It is a whole documentary of the process. So yes, I am publishing this for you guys to learn from my mistakes. This was a failure. There were several factors involved, and you can draw your own conclusions. I am sure though that 90% of the 80% of the reasons why I failed was an excess of water. Too much water once a week instead of small amounts of water every other day. Anyways, the failure was not due to water xylose or silos de agua, because my supplier, who is mentioned in the video description, you can contact him. He had a successful experiment with several plants. His plants at first showed some signs of stress, namely brown leaves. The edges of the leaves turn brown and crispy, as this plant usually do when stressed. But after 3 or 4 weeks, the plants adapt and responded positively to the new medium, the soil mixed with the right proportions of water xylose. The plants with water xylose turned to be more robust in the stem and showed a deeper green color and a bit of a lusher canopy. So yes, water xylose do work. My experiment failed for several factors you will see in the video. So having said this, and cleaning the name of water xylose, from which the plants will actually benefit, well, you will be able to draw your own conclusions. You can use the tabs to navigate the video. That's all. Enjoy. Hi. First off, pardon the background noise, the white noise. I cannot do anything about it as of now, and but yeah, this video is about transplanting Salvia Divinorum into pots, 20-liter pots with silos de agua soil, that is hydrogel soil, or soil mixed with silos de agua hydrogel. Silos de agua means water xylose, some translated as water or aqua warehouse, that is well, a super absorbent polymer, a hydrophilic polymer. The video is divided in 3 sections: introduction, hands-on, and results. So let's go straight to the introduction. First, let's go with plants. These ladies here are a couple of specimens of the Salvia Divinorum species from the genus Salvia, which has around 900 species. They are from the main family, and some of the most popular, one of the most popular species of this genus, is sage, an aromatic herb. Salvia Divinorum grows wildly. It is native of Sierra Mixteca, Sierra Mixteca, Mixtec Sierra, which is located in southern Mexico, Oaxaca. These plants were jealously guarded from the outside world for centuries by the Mixtec people. They were discovered to the Occidental world in the mid-20th century by Hoffman, and a couple more scientists were involved in that. Before that, the plant was a treasure of the Mixtec people, which is one of the most ancient civilizations and cultures of the Mesoamerica, pre-Hispanic culture, a pre-Hispanic culture that goes further before even the Aztec Empire. So quite old, and they have always been sacred for them, for the Mixtecs. After the Spanish colonization, conquest, there was syncretism in between traditional knowledge and traditional beliefs of the Mixtec people and Catholic European knowledge and beliefs. That's how this plant ended up being regarded as of today as the Virgin Mary plant, the Mary plant, the Mary sage, Ska Maria. That's because the deity that used to be adored before the Spanish people conquered Mexico was Mother Nature. It had a specific name that varies between cultures, pre-Hispanic cultures, but it comes down to the spirit of nature, Gaia, this primordial energy that, this maternal entity, which after the fusion of Spanish European culture with local Mixtec culture, ended up this deity turned into the Virgin Mary, the Mother of Christ, the Mother of humanity. The plant is regarded to be used to be in contact with this spirit, with this entity. Divinorum, Salvia Divinorum means the salvia of the diviners, the seers. Salvia actually means healthy, good health. So you could say that this is the healing plant of the seers or the diviners. Actually, sage, which is another species of the same genus, sage also means wise person. So these plants have that connotations. When it was classified in the around 1940s, around the 40s of the last century, it was named Divinorum. Hoffman, sorry about that. Hoffman was not happy with that name because Divinorum roughly translates as ghosts. That will be the salvia of the ghosts, whereas he proposed the name to be Divinatorum, which means priests, high priests. That will be the salvia of the priests, appealing to its sacred connotation, its sacred nature. These plants roughly produce, they do not produce seed in the wild.
they can be induced to produce seed under controlled circumstances or environments. Nonetheless, the seeds are non-viable. Most of the time, they are basically sterile. There are a couple of theories on this regard. One of them is that the plant is an hybrid between two salvias, of which we have no idea nothing about. Salvia Divinorum is one of the 3 species of salvia which origins are still unknown. If it is indeed an hybrid, we do not know which kinds of salvia were mixed together, fused together in order to create Salvia Divinorum. The other theory is that it propagated so much through cuttings that it no longer needed the seed to achieve this goal, so it basically dropped that from its genetic code, mutating, I guess, because, well, basically in Sierra Mixtec Sierra, the climate, the weather is permanently humid. It is 980 feet above the ocean level, so yeah, being that humid, when this plant that grows around 6 feet, it's kind of flimsy, so it breaks and its branches fall to the ground, and being that humid, the ground that is, the branches root themselves in the ground, so it is not that people propagate them through cuttings, but it naturally happens so that the branches fall on the ground and they root. So I guess seeds are not necessary after all, which still leave us with the doubt as to where it originated. Now, Mixteca, the place where it comes from, the culture where it comes from, means people from the clouds, or people from the country of the clouds, which for some of us might induce this idea, might remind us of certain accounts by pre-Hispanic cultures regarding sky people, or people from the sky. That some people like to believe of foreign entity, extraterrestrials, and things like that. That will explain how this plant is so sacred. But to say the truth is, being at that height in the Sierra, this culture basically lived among clouds, which explains why they are in a permanent state of mist. Sorry for the abrupt cut. This is not a professional video production. This is quite amateur production. Still, I think we are doing all right. I was telling you that what I'm trying to achieve here is to water once or twice a week. That is through the use of this polymer that will hold water in a huge molecule and release it as in the amounts that the roots need it. As much as the roots absorb, the molecule will release water. The water will not stagnate in the soil. The soil won't be damp to the point of not letting the roots breathe, and producing a putrid state of affairs. That is, the roots rot with excess of water and lack of air. Silos de agua, or water silos, will hold a great amount of water without the soil getting soggy and letting the soil breathe. That is, a win-win situation. The silos de agua, or water silos, are my main choice for this task, because, you might say, I have already seen other kind of commercial water holding polymers, or I have seen those color water retaining polymers in bases at weddings or parties. You know, these colored little marbles retaining water for flower arrangements and whatnot. What's the difference, you might ask? And well, there is a difference. Let me begin with saying that Silos de Agua, or water silos, is a Mexican creation. It was created by Sergio Rico for the Instituto Politécnico Nacional de Mexico, a well-reputed university and research institute. The difference, I mean, there are up to more than 200 hydrophilic polymers like this. Most of them are toxic or non-biodegradable, which is bad for the soil and your plants. That is, most of them are not fit to water plants that will be for human consumption. So you don't want that on your soil. Now, that's a vast amount of polymers. What we are left with is just a couple of viable polymers for this task. What makes Silos de Agua different from your commercial Miracle Grow water holding crystals? Well, basically, this Mexican invention is based on potassium acrylates, whereas the other popular commercial brands are based on sodium acrylates. The difference in between them is that, well, the potassium acrylates are grains, they resemble grains of salt. The result is not a paste, a watery paste, but individual molecules of water, which is they give a grainy constitution similar to perlite, but in the form of water. That is good when you mix with soil. It gives a better result. Now, this polymer lasts for around 7 years, whereas the sodium version, the commercial Miracle Grow version, will last for 4 years. That is almost half the time. And well, these water holding polymers, hydrophilic polymers, retain up to 500 their weight in water, whereas sodium polymers retain, water polymers retain around 200 to 300 times their weight in water. That is, again, almost half of the capacity of these ones. Plus, Silos de Agua, or water silos, it is approved by the FDA. For those of you who are Americans, you know that is the Federal Drug and Food Administration. That means these are viable for growing fruits and grains for human consumption. They are also approved by the Ministry of Agriculture, the French Ministry of Agriculture, or French Agriculture Ministry. How you may call it. Anyways, I guess that's all. That amounts that amounts for the total of the longest part of this video, which is the introduction. From now on, we will be hands-on, or going a la práctica, manos a la obra. The next part of the video, you will see how I turn rainwater into solid rainwater. After that, we will see how to mix, or my particular mixture of soil, that is leaf and twig soil, black soil, with the resulting solid water, solid rain, and perlite in order to repot the plants. So yeah, this is the end of the introduction and the beginning of the practical side. Hands-on. I just realized that a couple of minutes got lost. Photographic cameras are not video cameras. That is, they are limited to 10 minutes of recording time. So yes, I got a couple of minutes lost. What is missing is that, as I already said, Mixteca actually means people from the clouds, cloud people, or people from the country of the clouds, or people from cloud country. This lead some of us to believe, those of us which are somehow in love with the idea of extraterrestrial life intervening in human matters, the idea that the name of this culture derives from contact with extraterrestrial entities, with people from the sky, as some pre-Hispanic accounts have it, of sky people or people from the sky making contact with them before Columbus. Quetzalcoatl might be one of them. Anyways, the most viable explanation for the name, though, is that, as I already mentioned in the video before the abrupt cut, is that Mixtec Sierra is at such a height up the ocean level that they actually live among clouds. It is quite cloudy there, to the point that under the canopies of the trees, the constant state of mist feels almost like rain, which lend us some insight into the life of the plant itself, and knowledge as to what to expect when planting it, taking care of it, understanding its watering needs, its humidity needs. Still, the plant is quite stubborn, if you will, to the point that it will survive harsh environments. We already mentioned that there are accounts of the plant surviving in different environments which are challenging, humidity-wise and temperature-wise. I'm sorry, in the former video I said hybrid. I meant hybrid. The plant is believed to be a hybrid, a mixture of different salvias of which we know not names nor classification, species at least. And I guess that was all. Just wanted to make it clear that the cloud people is mostly people living among the clouds, but there's also this option for those of us with sweet tooth for cosmic consciousness, that there's always this open door to the possibility of sacred botanicals such as this one, Salvia, are interventions of higher consciousness or higher beings, if you will, which is quite interesting. Making contact with Mother Nature through the help of nature itself, in the form of a gift from people from the sky. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to add. I don't know. I probably am. I'm probably missing something that I could have added. Maybe when I do the recount of the conclusions, the results to the transpotting process and the watering times, I might have anything I am missing from mentioning now. This is quite a long video, but I hope you find this interesting and enlightening to the degree of my possibilities. That's all. Let's continue with the rest of the video before, you know, the plants were potted.
So this is about 3 or 4 days before I haven't gotten the plant yet, but it rained today. It is unusual for it to rain in this region of the country. Anyways, I saved some rainwater, which is the best kind of water you can use for your plant. So I saved the water, and I'm gonna turn it into the hydrogel we already discussed. It is silos de agua, or water silos. It is the Mexican mixture I already told you about, or I mean chronologically in the video I have already talked about this, but yeah, well, this is 4 days before. Anyways, just mix a cap of the crystals. These are the crystals here. It's like grains of salt. A cap of them will do for 1 liter of water. In this case, rainwater. So yeah, that's about 4 cups of water. There, 4 cups, 1 liter. Thinking about the proportions of water I'll be using for my plant, it means I need 3.5 liters of water, or 3.5 cups of crystals, in order to save enough hydrogel, enough solid rainwater for my plants. Yeah, so from now on I just have to wait up and well, basically help the crystals a bit in order for them to dissolve properly. They tend to get chunky if you throw them all together. It helps if you just shake them a bit. You know, just crushing the clumps, little lumpy bits of clusters of crystals not dissolving. So anyways, I'll have to wait 20 minutes and the gel will be done. I'll show you when it's done. I'll show you then. So yeah, if you see a change of clothes and stuff, this is happening 4 days before actually getting the plants. So yeah, I still have to get them accustomed to their new home, and after 3 or 4 days of them stressing out, getting out of the stress zone, then I'll be repotting them. And at which moment I will be using this rainwater in the form of crystals. So yeah, see you later. I'll show you the results later. 25 minutes later, I have my gel. This is solid water. It has the consistency of a jellyfish. So basically I'll be mixing this with the soil. I have, I already told you, I have leaf soil. The water crystals they make up for 15% of the formula. I'll be mixing this 3.5 liters with 16.5 liters of soil, leaf soil and perlite. So I will be having great drainage on my pot, because well, the soil the soil itself won't be completely saturated with water, because the water will be inside the crystals. The soil will be just humid,
and the perlite will help drain it. So basically there will be humidity, but not an excess of water to cause root system rotting. I don't want the root system to rot. So yeah, these are 2 liters. I still have an extra liter to go for 1 pot. I need a total of 7 liters. So yeah, I have still some work to do. Yeah. So I am thoroughly drenched in my own sweat. It's about 90 degrees, 95 degrees outside, midsummer, North Mexico, South Texas, as you might like to call it. So, you know, I've been misting the plants in order for them to survive the heat. And well, I'm finished with 1 plant. I transpotted it in a Spanish video, and now I'm gonna show you how to mix the soil, at least half of it, in order for the video now to be up to 15-20 minutes. I'm just gonna give you 10 minutes of a mixture idea. I mean, just show, and with some music I like, some mystic tunes from Bill Laswell. And that's gonna be pretty much all. The video is gonna end up abruptly, and then I'm gonna show you the results. So yeah, what I'm gonna do here is I ended up using about 4 liters of hydrogel for the other plant, so I have to make do and create, or to, you know, soak some crystals. I'm gonna be using 4 liters for this one too. So yeah, the formula is about 8 liters of mixed soil. I've got leaf soil. This is composed of black soil, leaves and twigs, and well, being organic matter, they will decompose, and as it decomposes, creates food for the soil, nutrients. This other sack is filled with grass soil. Just, you know, it's a bunch of black soil with grass cuttings. So yeah, it is pretty much as good as the other one. I'm just gonna mix them in equal proportions, about 8 liters 4 and 4 with 2 liters of solid grain and 2 liters of perlite, and that's gonna be half the pot. After having half the pot done, I'm gonna put the plant on top of that and mix the other half of soil with perlite and solid grain, and that's gonna be it. The pot capacity is a bit over 20 liters, so yeah, if numbers don't quite add up to the initial calculations, it's okay. It's okay. It's just gonna. It varies. You know, it's not an exact science, but you know, close enough. So yeah, this is about 10 liters. You know, I mean, probably 7. I'm gonna use it. So yeah. The idea of using this kind of soil is that it will give lots of room for the roots to aerate. That is the process in which the soil acquires air through it, letting the roots breathe in order for them not to get too drenched, too soaked in the water, because that will lead to root rot. That's basically the root not getting air, and well, just, you know, it's a putrid situation. Now, perlite in cahoots with this kind of soil, it's well, an extra kick of breath for the roots, because perlite with this kind of soil ends up being extra roomy. it avoids drenchness. I also created just drill the base of the pot in order for it to let the excess of water run out. So yeah, 2 liters for the base. So it's about 8-9 liters of soil, mixed soil, with 2 liters of rainwater, solid rainwater, and 2 liters of perlite. That's plenty of humidity and plenty of air as well. I didn't tell you at the beginning of the video, but these plants are accustomed to a temperature of around 15 to 27, 28 in the hottest days in the Sierra. So yeah, this is pretty hot for the plants right now. That's why I missed them. But nonetheless, there are several reports of people successfully planting them and growing them in hot areas, as New Mexico, for example, and that is on the outside. So the only thing you have to keep in mind when submitting the plants to such a heat is that well, basically they have to be humid all the time. That means having an automated system, or taking the time to mist them 4 or 5 times a day. Some people say they get accustomed to not being mist, but you know, it helps. They like the moisture. So yeah, the finer the mist, the best. It's not just rain, but humidity, the percentage of humidity in the air that they need. So yeah, I'm gonna mix the perlite, and you know the proportions now. 4 liters of hydrogel, around 15 liters of mixed soil, and around 3-4 liters of perlite, and that's it. I'm gonna put some music, not to get Mac here.
The universe, his wine cellar. The atom's heart, his measuring cup. Intellect is drunk. Earth, drunk. Sky, drunk. Heaven perplexed, with him restlessly seeking. Love in its heart, hoping at least for a single whiff of the fragrance of that wine, that clear wine the angels drank. From that immaterial pot, a sip of the dregs, the rest poured out upon the dust. One sip, and the elements whirl in drunken dance, falling now into water, now in blazing fire. And from that smell of that spilled cup, man rises from the dust and soars to heaven.
Rain.
Then, one day, I reached those city gates where angels are servants, where planets and stars are slaves, a garden of roses and pines, girded round with walls of emerald and jasper trees, set in a desert of gold-embroidered silk, its springs sweet as honey, the river of paradise, a city which only virtue can aspire to reach, a city whose cypresses are like the blades of intellect, a city whose sages wear brocaded robes woven of silk. And here, before these gates, my reason spoke.
So I guess I have half the pot filled with the mixture. I reckon I can show you the rest of the pot. I mean, I will pot it for you guys. You're gonna see how it is done to be very empty. So yeah, I'm just gonna mix the rest of it and put the plant in it and cover the plant up to its roots with the newly mixed soil. Here we go.
Enter the atrocious street band. Phare atroce, je ne trébuche pas. I won't stumble. Chevalier féerique. The fairy rack hurrah for the unattainable alchemy and the marvelous body. Pour la première fois. For the first time, it all started. Commença sous les rires des enfants. Beneath the laughter of children, it will end with them. Finira par this poison will remain in the veins even as this music sours and pours into chaos. Now dignified will receive these tortures. This host, this promise to our created body and soul, this promise, this madness, this elegance, science, violence, this promise that the tree of life will be buried, tyrannical goodwill exiled, so we can bring forth pure love. Pure love. It all started with disgust, and it will stop because it can't catch up with eternity. And it will end with a retreat of perfumes. Laughter of children, rire des enfants, discretion of slaves, discrétion des esclaves, austerity of virgins, austérité des vierges, horror of the figure and objects here, sacred you are, memory of last night, souvenir de cette veille. It all started with roundness and ended with angels, flames, and ice. Little white night, little drunkenness, how holy you were, only for the mask you gratified us with. We affirm your method. We won't forget. We won't forget that yesterday you glorified all of our ages. We have faith in poison. We know how to give our life fully every day. Come, the time, assassins.
So, yeah, I think this last batch was particularly soggy, not soggy, but I mean, it's more humid. It is very spongy, the soil mixed with the hydrogel. But yeah, it's ready to be repotted. Just add some perlite to it. So here it goes.
this is the land around this height. So we'll have to cut the bag, take the plant out of the bag, and cover it all with the soil. So yeah, the soundtrack is The End of Law by Bill Laswell. Great jazz bassist. Many musicians don't like it, don't like him at all. Anyways, I love that album. It's called The End of Law. Hashishin, The End of Law. Middle East mysticism, and I think I might have crushed a bit of the roots there. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the plant gets sways a lot, so I'm gonna trap it in here for it to hold steady. That's this metal device I got at Home Depot. You know, the usual garden trough you will stick in the soil and attach your plant to for it to stay in place. I'm sorry, little girls. Just buried here. But, you know, I might have potted it a bit on the low, but they will grow out of the soil. They have most of their, all of their leaves are out of the soil, above it. So they just have to rise a bit more towards the light, and I will have more soil then. But yeah, this is what it likes. This is what it looks like. There you can see the small ones, and right at soil level, and the big ones right here. I just don't know if that's the right height I should go for. Seems okay though. Yeah, seems okay. So that's it. That's the end of the action. We will see some results in every 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks after this, results with watering. I don't expect to water too little because the root system is not developed yet by then. So they won't be seizing the whole hydrogel thing. So they will be feeding themselves of the water I'll be pouring on them. But I reckon that for the second couple of weeks, well, 1 month from today, the root system will have developed enough to reduce the watering, provided they are absorbing more humidity from the soil mixture. And a month and 2 weeks after, on the last review, I expect for the watering times to have to go as low as once a week. But we'll see. We'll see the result. The bottom line was 4 liters of hydrogel water crystals per pot. 4, not 3, maybe even 5. But then again, that was a recommendation. And to say the truth, it feels humid, but not soggy at all. I think this is going to be a success. See you in 2 weeks, guys. If you made it so far, you must love potting and salvia, because this is a long video. Enjoy.
Whatever is forbidden for the perverted world becomes lawful for you and for those of your degree. I address myself to you with the same words that have been addressed to Muhammad.
So, yes.
These are the results. This is the best looking plant I got. This was stronger from the moment she got here. The other one looked kind of not so well, maybe all very stressed even before she got here. This is the best one. She's doing great. As you can see, she's fine after 3 weeks, and well, that's amazing. The first week I used, you know, just around 4 liters of hydrated water retaining crystals, and that was all. 4 liters and maybe a little bit of water, just, you know, to let it soak in, to let the soil soak in, and that was all. That was 1 week. After that 1 week without water, the plant was great. The soil was not completely dry, but it was still spongy and maybe fresh / humid, but not moisty. I mean, it retains liquid, but it's not readily available, you know, to evaporate or just to soak your finger, and that's good. Still, it was, you know, thirsty. I could feel the plant thirsty. So, and after that 1 week, next weekend, it was spot a Saturday. Next Saturday, I used 2 gallons of fortified, you know, fertilizer, fortified water. It was a waste. 2 gallons too much. Well, it was a little bit like 1 gallon and 0.8 gallons, almost 8 liters. Still, it was a waste. Most of the water got lost. I think at the end of the day, the pot ceased around maybe 3 liters, maybe almost a gallon. So I got lost, a gallon got lost. I kept running the water, I kept taking the water from the plate and pouring it back into the pot, because I know that the crystals have to reabsorb it slowly, so they won't absorb it right away. Anyways, I thought that I had to, you know, recharge the crystals, which is about 4 liters per pot, and then add extra water for the soil. It's not like that. I mean, the crystals, they were already charged. They won't lose their water in 1 week. That's the thing I did not know. So they rejected the water because they already had water, and the soil got, you know, soaked in water and let the rest go. So I calculated that that week what ended up being absorbed by the pot, the soil, was around 3 liters. A week passed, and then I thought that it would be wiser to use just a gallon per pot. So I used 1 gallon, and I reckon that I got about 1 liter lost. That is a fourth of a gallon got lost. I still, you know, ran the water from the plate back into the pot, from the plate back into the pot through the day, just to let the crystals soak in, but still the crystals won't get completely dried. They won't let their contents, of their liquid contents, go in 1 week. So yeah, 3 liters were still much. The plant did not rot because the crystals are not, you know, just throwing water at the roots. They just let it go little by little. So yeah, this time, this Saturday, I just used half a gallon per pot. A little bit of water ran off through the holes in the bottom, but I took it back and you know, just kept the cycle going. By the second time I poured the water from the plate back into the pot, the water did not go through the holes again. That means that the crystals and the rest of the soil absorbed it successfully. So I used just half a gallon. I reckon that half a gallon is enough probably for a week, but the plants are stressed. The higher, the bigger leaves have brown edges, which means that the plant is stressed. Basically, she will resent the leaves adapted to another environment will resent a new environment, especially in this case, low humidity environment. So they will resent it with stress, and that's how they express their stress. The little leaves, though, that came in the male, that they were barely growing then, are getting bigger and bigger by the day, and they look amazingly fine. They do fine, and every time I leave them through the night outside, which is 100% humid, but around 80 degrees Fahrenheit,
in the morning they look amazing. They really like the humidity. The thing is, I cannot leave them outside because during the day the temperature hits the 105 degrees, which is absurd. It's too much. Wait up. Oh yes, the camera's still running. Sorry for that. Anyways, it's too hot. So yeah, they like that, but I don't want them to get accustomed. The thing is, the aim is for the leaves to get accustomed to the inside of the house, which is where they will be living. So I mean, why make them believe that they will sleep outside every day? This is the 4th week, and this is the last week I will be letting them sleep outside more than 3 times a week. Anyways, I do miss them twice or thrice a day, but you know, they resent it. Anyways, let me show you just how good these leaves are looking. As you can see, the older ones, poor things, getting browner, crispy. A couple of leaves lost. This one's curling, but overall they look fine. There's a lot of new growth there and there and there, and you know, even though this leaf has a little brown thing at the brown complex, it looks brown anyway. They look fine. They will grow fine. Alright, I yesterday stupidly hit the stem, and I ripped off a couple of good looking leaves. Still, the ones at the bottom, look at that. Look at that. Remember how they looked 3 weeks ago? These babies are growing amazingly, and they know it. They are beautiful and they know it. This was a triple stemmed plant. The other stem is doing quite bad, to be honest. It was here, the leaves that they were growing, but they just quit. So I just rip them off, and I'm gonna let new leaves grow from this stem. This was it never grew. I was waiting for this one to grow at, waiting for both to grow at this height so I can add more soil. This pot needs 4 fingers more of soil, so I was waiting for this one to grow, and she has grown. I'm gonna add some more soil probably next week. So yeah, this is how the good leaves look after 3 weeks. They like their new environment. These plants were accustomed to water every day. Every single day they got watered. And now they are watered once a week, and they like it. They are not very zesty and perky, because you know, they resent it, but they have not wilted all the way down. They just look like this. I reckon that 2nd and 3rd generation leaves will look amazing in this setting. The plant is alright. This is a resilient species and will endure. Now the other plant, she never got to adapt. She was stressed from the beginning. I think that these guys might have sent me a already sick plant, or not sick but stressed. All the leaves look like this, crispy. All of them are old leaves. The new leaves, well, at least the ones at the top, are curly, crispy, brown. The center stem, I cut it because I want for it to stem 2 different branches. So yeah, there was a little bit of stress, extra stress, but I mean, it's not to be like this. I mean, to be looking like this, to look like this. Now, some new growths look kind of cool, but she's growing very slowly if you compare it to the other one. But then again, this is a single stemmed plant, so there's no other option. I mean, no other stem to grow. Anyways, this is going to give me a headache for some months, but I reckon that next year she will be looking all right and doing fine. If the other one grows as mad, as crazy fast as I reckon she will be growing, I think that I might take a couple of cutlings from here into here, and hopefully I'm gonna have 2 beautiful mother plants. And anyways, yes, here they are. Oh, don't buy this, mister, but it's like hosing your plant. A mister has to be finer. Anyways, these are the results of the 3rd week. I'm gonna show you the results of the 4th week very soon. Ciao. See you in the next 2 seconds of the video, I guess. So basically,
the plants are as good as dead. Gone, 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 baby. They are gone. The first one, the one that was losing leaves, the one that looked the wiltiest, without touchancy or the less touchancy of both, lost most of or all of its leaves last week. Reason why it just started rotting, or not rotting but probably rotting from the top to the bottom, and it stopped the rotting in a point where two small tiniest leaves were growing, but as of now the leaves succumbed as well, so most of the plant is just dry, and there are some fruit flies, you know, going around, 5 or 6 of them. They stand up on the stem, so I don't know if they are hatching eggs in there or just eating off the stem or roots or what's going on. Maybe they're just there because of the humidity, who knows. The thing is that the flies are not flying around the other plant, which is not as dead as this one. I mean, it's seriously almost there, but not quite yet. So yeah, I mean, I mean, from one day to the last 3 weeks I use 1.5 liters. The next week I use 1 liter, and this weekend I use just half a liter. That's the weekly dose of water. And after 2 days with half a liter, the one that was looking fine just dropped, you know, got all droopy, all wilty, without touchancy, and it's there. It's right there. You're just wilting as crazy. I mean, it's mad. I mean, what the hell? It's been like this for 2 or 3 days, and I have been watering it. It's not wilting because of lack of water, so my best guess is that it could be rotting. But how come is it rotting 1.5 months after I got them? They have been under the same conditions of humidity due to the water retaining crystals, and I mean, I began giving them 4 liters from the get-go. I have only been taking water off of them. I mean, the dose is getting smaller and smaller each week, so I don't know how come it's rotting now when I am giving it less water. Evidently the crystals retain water, so they don't need that much. So I don't know, maybe the rotting process is a slow process, and it just built up humidity until the roots succumbed to it. I don't know. The other one's looking, I mean, it's pitiful. You cannot even make where it starts. I mean, there it is. Can you see it? Now you don't. Now you see it. Now you don't. It's pitiful. 2 leaves were growing here, and there's what the rot stopped. I mean, could not make it, so the leaves are gone. They are not growing anymore, and well, the stem is just dried up. It's been 4 days since I watered it last time, and there's good mobility of soil. It's not packed because it's leaf and grass soil, as I already showed you, and it's humid. I mean, it's not soaked, it's not drenched, it's just humid, fresh. I don't know what's going on with this. My hope is that it's not a root rot and they will recover. That means that I will give them about 1 month. I mean, after this one dies, possibly this week, I will give them 1 month from the time they look like this for them to respawn, to just grow again, to rise from their ashes. But maybe they're as good as gone. So my error here was trying the water retaining crystals without a control plant. So both of them have them. I don't know which one. I mean, I don't know if it's the crystals that got them in this shape. We have to bear in mind that these plants were subjected to drastic changes in their life conditions. The environment is the whole different thing from where they were before I got them shipped here. And they got here in the hottest part of the year. I mean, they were in an average, the temperature in the house they were living in was about 79, 80 degrees, sometimes 81 degrees. The first month they were mist every day, twice a day. After the first month, I stopped misting for them just to get accustomed to the new humidity. I know they can grow in low humidity levels, so I was going to let them adapt to it. But they did not like it.
they wilted like this after 1 week or 2 without misting. This one got like this after it lost all its leaves, and well, this one's as good as gone. I was thinking of making a cutling, but it's in such a bad shape that I seriously doubt it will survive if I do so. But I might just as well try. I mean, it's as good as gone. My only hope now is, as root-wise, is for them to rise from their ashes, as I already said. So yeah, this is the result. I cannot blame it on water-retaining crystals, because, I mean, 1 liter was good for a whole week and they were still good. I mean, it evidently works. They retain water, and they have proven to work in several different conditions, pots, crop fields and whatnot. So I cannot completely blame it on it. Maybe it's a whole plethora of you know, circumstances that conspire to just mess up my beautiful girls. So yeah, that's the result with this too. I am probably I'm praying for my supplier to be lenient with me in the name of science and hand me a couple more plants for a good reasonable price, and I'll make the experiment growing them practically the same conditions, maybe not so much misting, not a single mist from the get-go, and not water retaining crystals in the pot. Maybe that's what I have to do. That maybe that's what I should aim for, in order for them to grow healthy and happy. Maybe they don't like the region. I mean, this is fucking Texas basically. It's dry. I mean, it's humid. I mean, it's really humid inside the house. It is dry, and given the temperature, it's absurdly that the leaves are practically toasting. So I don't know. Maybe I should quit, but in the name of science, I have to prove it was not crystal. So I might have to, you know, yeah, buy a couple more, and we will know if I mean, if they grow, it was the crystals. No more crystals in our experiments, right? If they do not grow, maybe they don't like living here. Yeah, I should stick with the dried leaves. I will certainly love to have fresh leaves, like, you know, my Mexican ancestors, or people that live here hundreds, thousands of years ago did. But you know, you damn, you cannot always get what you want, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's pitiful. Pitiful, 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 pitiful. That's all. See you guys. Pitiful.